Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Lucas, and this is Doing the Deal. We're coming at you with an update video. I apologize, it has been so long, but the turn into the new year has not been all that kind to at least our basement and our basement garden. So I'm going to go over several of the issues that we have had that I believe that we have gotten figured out. Most of them are my own doing, so it is what it is, but nonetheless, I will take you along through the trials and tribulations. First off, our basement flooded. That was fantastic. I'll see if I can either get the video in a picture-in-picture or in after this. I believe that is truly my fault. This is only our second winter in New England. The first winter was very romantic. It was great, tons of snow, it was good. Being a desert rat myself, it was all new to me. This year, far less romantic, and it's kicking my ass and doing it on a daily basis for the most part. We've gotten a lot of rain and a lot of snow, which has caused a lot of flooding and things of this nature. So I did not get all of my roof drains on the outside of my house cleared. And one of the days we had a lot of snow on the ground. We got a lot of rain over the course of 36, 48 hours. And we had a lot of melting and runoff and flooding, and it backed up into my basement because my drain wasn't properly cleared. So we used our small little transfer pump that we use for water changes, and we slowly but surely pumped out our basement. We had about 4 or 5 inches of standing water or so. While that was happening, I was running around like an idiot, trying to, one, find my drain, because I'm a dumbass, and then number two, unclog my drain. So we did find our drains, we got our drains unclogged, and we got the basement cleared. Luckily enough, after all of that, we only lost our Roomba, so that's a bummer, because it was definitely keeping the grow space clean, and I dug it. But maybe we'll tinker with that, see what we can get. We did disassemble everything. We cleaned a lot of stuff. We had to move the tents. We had to get under the tents. We had to, as water does water things. So once we got that all taken care of, we got it all put back together. We got it rocking and rolling, which what we thought was rocking and rolling, we ran into another issue. Now with the basement flooding, it blows, it is what it is, but we used it as an opportunity to cycle our plants and switch over to something different. And that something different is broccoli, which we talked about in our previous video, which I'll show you what we got cooking here at the end of this video briefly, and then into the next one. The next thing we had happen is the pump in our brain controller. Over here, the one that returns the water to the sump tank, storage tank, water tank, whatever you want to refer to it as. It ran, but the propeller stopped spinning. And within a 12-hour period, maybe less, it wasn't leveling itself appropriately. We had a little bit of overflow in our buckets. Once again, we had to clean it all out. That wasn't the biggest deal. The biggest deal was the amount of algae growth that we instantly had. So we took out all the plants once again. We cleaned all of our hydroton. We washed all of our buckets and our lines and our hoses and our pumps and things like that. Once I was able to get it fixed. Luckily enough, there were just 3, if you're using the AirCube, it's still the pump that comes with it. On the bottom of it, there are just 3 screws. You take those out, you can separate the cap, and then I just pulled the little rotor or propeller out, and then I cleaned it all up, and it's been working great since. But I would definitely monitor those things, or maybe what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna make it part of my cleaning cycle. I'm gonna disassemble a pump, I'm gonna put it back together, I'm gonna make sure it's working before I reload the system. So we did get that all taken care of, but within the span of not very long at all, a couple of weeks, 2.5 maybe, we had to completely disassemble and clean and reassemble and put back together. Luckily enough for us, the algae did not seem to affect the plants that were large and mature and spilling over the sides. They seemed to have been bigger and had enough hydroton, so the level didn't get as high as the other newer ones that we had in there, so they were unaffected, so we were able to keep those there. And I think we're headed in a positive direction. Now we're not done setting it up. I see we got some other buckets over here. We're gonna add 3 more nodes and some more broccoli here sooner than later. And so we got that fixed up, issue number 2. And then finally, the last of the issues, once again, semi-imposed, semi-maintenance, definitely not semi-maintenance, like maintenance for sure. But we had some issues with our water. Not coming into our basement or things like this, but our whole home water. So all of a sudden our filters, it had been right around a year or so for our RO stuff and our drinking stuff. So we took care of those. We replaced all of those, which was good. We saw the pH in our stuff just skyrocket through the roof, which was a clear indicator that it was definitely time to change before the ppm got too high. We also have 2 water filters for our whole system before it hits our radon removal and then our RO system. One of them is the first one right from the well. This one was installed when we moved in. Any other filtration system that we have after that, we did upon purchasing this place. Now, the one mistake that I made in this situation is when we added the additional filter after our well filter, and then it goes into our bubble up, and then it goes into our RO. We did not replace the original filter that was here with the house. And like I said, it is my fault. I'll see if I can throw that video up in here. I have never seen a filter this disgusting in my life, but I'm happy to have them all changed. It's mostly just sand coming from the well, but either way, pH is back in an acceptable range coming from the spigot. And we have better water pressure, so that's a win-win all around. So to briefly wrap this all up, that was the issues that we have had. I'll flip it around. I'll show you what we got cooking right quick before we bring it back for some final thoughts, and we'll go from there. So here we are. All right, same type of deal. You can see we've got our broccoli. We ended up with 2 broccoli in each node. We've got 6 over here. I flopped them so that they grow in the empty spaces of each. Our pepper is coming along, doing pretty good. We need some more nutrients in the system. And as you can see, we've been mashing our chard and our kale all summer. I just cut so much off of this stuff. It's just going crazy. This bigger one over here is definitely becoming invasive and it's time to go. So ultimately what we're gonna do there is we're gonna start our stuff for our outside garden. And upon doing that, we're gonna remove these types of leafy greens. We're gonna start growing those outside. We're gonna focus on broccoli in here. Now we do have some space as I was going through the disassembly and reassembly process multiple times, but here we go. We've got 2, 4, and 6 more broccoli. I love broccoli, it's one of my favorite things. And we are in the process of setting up 3 more. We can get it back to 6 and 6 right there, all right? So that's where we are, and we'll get after those things in the next video. So let's go ahead, flip this around for some final thoughts. All in all, rough way to begin our 2024 with our gardening. But you know what? We're gonna roll it, we're gonna clean it, we're gonna keep chugging along, we're gonna keep going after it. And if the broccoli does what the peppers do, I'm super jacked to get giant fat heads of broccoli, as it is one of my favorite vegetables to eat. And with that, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, advice, they are much appreciated and always welcome. Just mash them down in the box below. If you like what you liked, please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to continue along our epic journey of indoor gardening exploration here in New England, mash that subscribe button. It is all greatly appreciated, and thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.